So behind me sits my Audi A3, and today, as you would have seen from the title, we've got some new rims. So these are some 16-inch Romac rims. The reason for getting these was they are pretty much the exact same size as the stock ones, and the Michelin Pilot Sport 4s that I've got on there at the minute still have at least 5,000 miles left in them, and probably even more. I've only had them on the car for a little bit as the car was off the road for 5 months. So we stuck with the same size, and we're just going to get the tyres swapped over. So we've got a couple of things to get through in today's video. One of them is, as you would see from the title, we're getting some new rims for the Audi. And the other is the horrible and annoying misfire I've had since the top half of the engine got rebuilt. You might have seen on my shorts that I replaced the crankshaft position sensor. We've got a camshaft position sensor today to see if that works, and if that doesn't work, then I'm gonna run to Euro Car Parts and grab some spark plugs. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that will fix the misfire that we have going on. But it's not just on one cylinder, so it has to be something related. I don't know, but it's mind-boggling. As you can tell, I'm still on the stock rims. The one thing I will need to do is get these tyres swapped over from these rims onto the new ones, which are in the boot of the car, because the whole reason why I got 16s was because I didn't want to waste these tyres. As they're reasonably fresh, still got a decent amount of tread, and I didn't want to waste £400 or £500 on a whole set of tyres when I've got some. So first of all, I'm just going to crack off all the bolts for the rims. I am using a torque wrench for this because I don't have a breaker bar. When undoing these bolts, you don't need to go in a star pattern. That's only for when you are tightening them up. Now, as you can see, I'm just jacking the car up. I'm not going to bother putting axle stands underneath, as I'm only taking one wheel off at a time. So now I'm just mounting the new rim onto the hub and hand tightening all of the bolts up in a star pattern to secure it in place, to then lower it down. Now I'm lowering the car down, and we can go ahead and torque all of the bolts in a star pattern up to their spec. Now we can go and repeat this on the other side. Jack the car up, loosen all of the bolts, take the old wheel off, bring the new wheel over, put the new wheel on, tighten all the bolts up in a star pattern, and get everything tightened up. So, as you've probably noticed from the clips of me putting the new wheels on, the arch gap is now a little bit big. This is also on the lowest setting of coilovers as well. It has actually lowered the car a little bit, but once we get the Michelin Pilot Sport 4s on there, I'm sure that gap is going to close and run just like that one did. You can see the caliper, which is mainly what I wanted as well. I think when these have the Pilot Sport 4s on, they're going to look mint. And to be honest, if the Pilot Sport 4s look good, I could keep it and then get the wheels refurbed and powder coated, but it depends how everything sits. My original plan for this car was to go for 17s and get some lower profile tyres. However, as I mentioned, these tyres are recently new, and I didn't want to just waste £400 getting a set of 17s and then having nothing to do with the Pilot Sport 4s. So we went for 16s for now, and then obviously in the future we can look at getting some proper ones. But let's get the other two rims on the other side, and then we can show you what it looks like all together. So once again, we can do exactly the same thing that we did on the other side by loosening all the bolts, jacking the car up, taking the old wheel off and replacing it with the nice new one. As you can see from the previous clip, I just needed to roll the car forwards a little bit because I didn't have enough room to change the wheel. And last but not least, let's get the last wheel finished repeating the process that we've done on the other 3 rims. So we've got all 4 on now, as you can see. I think these look mint. I really like these. When these have the Michelin Pilot Sport 4s on, the one we've got them swapped over, I think they're going to look sick. So talking about this Misfire, hopefully this is going to fix it. This is a new camshaft sensor, which is this one. So I've been getting codes for a while on camshaft or crankshaft position sensor correlation bank 1, and I've replaced the crankshaft position sensor. If you want to know the location, go and check the shorts on the channel. And the next thing for that code is to replace this sensor, as I had this sensor out when I rebuilt the head. But let's get started on getting this camshaft sensor out and a nice new one in. So first off, I'm going to start by removing the battery cover, disconnecting the negative terminal first, and then we can go ahead and remove the positive terminal. You want to make sure you do it this way so you don't short anything out. Now we can go ahead and take the camshaft position sensor out. As you can see, it's just one single T30 bolt. You can use a ratchet. And let's get it removed from the head of the engine. So here is the camshaft sensor. Tiny little thing that creates such a big problem, I know. Now we're putting the new one in, reusing the same bolt from the old one. And as you can see, I'm just clipping it back in now. As you can see, we've got the new camshaft sensor plugged in, all tightened up. Now hopefully this fixes the misfire, because if it doesn't, and I go and get spark plugs and that doesn't fix the misfire, then I am completely lost and I have no idea where to go from there. The only thing we haven't checked is fuel, and I previously had the injectors out. I've had the injectors out twice, in fact, since stripping half the engine down. I could have dislodged something, or I don't know, but we'll find out eventually. So now we can go ahead and get the battery reconnected back up, connecting the positive terminal first and then getting the negative terminal attached, and then putting the battery cover back over the top so the battery isn't exposed. So we've got the battery all reconnected back up, we've got the new sensor plugged back in. So let's give the car a start and see if she misfires. Before I unplug the battery and put this new sensor in, she did struggle to start. Now that is due to that crankshaft position sensor code. Let's give it a try. So we're still misfiring for now. I just cannot figure out what on earth this misfire is. When I turn the AC on, it doesn't misfire as bad. Oh, I'll take that back. Oh, what's going on? maybe it'll regulate. Which is great. I just cannot figure out what that misfire is. Okay, so I have actually just found the original spark plugs that were in there before I changed them to the NGK ones. So I think I'm going to give these a quick clean up and see if these make a difference before I go spending money at Euro Car Parts on a brand new set of spark plugs. So first things first, we need to get all 4 of these coil packs disconnected. Now some are easier than others because these clips are a nightmare. If you know, you know. There we go. Now we need to get these coil packs pulled out. So as you can see, I'm just taking out all the spark plugs now using a 10mm spark plug socket. I mean, they don't even look too bad. But let's change them. The difference between a normal socket and a spark plug socket is the spark plug socket has rubber inside it so that it grips the spark plug when you pull it out and you don't risk dropping it. Now I'm just cleaning the old spark plugs up with some white spirit and a paintbrush to get some of the carbon residue and the dirt off the threads of the spark plugs and the ceramic tips. I'm just going to leave these to dry in the sun for a minute. They definitely look a lot better than these NGK ones. Even though the NGK ones are supposed to be better. Now we can go ahead and get all the spark plugs screwed back in to the head of the engine and see if this has made a difference, because this was the only change that I made since rebuilding the head of the engine. Okay, once again, we're still misfiring. Well, that's great. Let's see what that is. As you would have seen from the previous clips, we've just cleared all the fault codes. I'm going to give the car a start now. I'm hoping it's just got to relearn and regulate. If not, then we have to start looking into other options. So that's with no fans on. Oh, we're still misfiring. unless the ECU's got to relearn, we just get on a smooth. It's been running for about 5 minutes. The fans are on as well. Let's see. I mean, it gets better and it gets worse. But I am so confused. What else could it be? Fueling is the one thing I haven't checked. Don't get cars. So as you can hear, the car is still misfiring. I mean, at least the rims look cool. At least the rims look good. I do need to get those tyres on it really badly though, because that arch gap is almost unbearable. So yeah, I don't really know what the way forward is now. If it wasn't the spark plugs, if it wasn't that sensor. I mean, worst case possible is when I put the timing chain on, I put it on wrong. But I did have somebody scan it with VCDS and they said that the timing was all perfect. The timing was all good. It could be one link out of time, but the biggest thing is obviously I've been told that it's in time and the timing's all good. So for now, I think this deserves one of them. Yeah, I really don't know. I haven't a clue. But I'll do some research and get back to you guys. It will be in a future video because I've got nothing left for this video. I haven't a clue where to go from here. I think it's going to take some research and some digging. And maybe, I mean, there's always a specialist that I can get in contact with. So I've got some people around that might be able to help. So yeah. So behind me is the Audi A3. We've got the tyres switched over and this is what it looks like. As you can tell, it has made a massive difference compared to the other tyres that we had on. And it's a good idea that we got them changed because I'll put a photo up on the screen now. That's what they looked like before. I also went ahead and added on, I don't know how well you can see, there's a rear diffuser down the bottom. However, that is for a future video to come. But I think these tyres with these rims really make this car look like something special. I just can't get over that it's mine. And I know some of you are gonna say that it's only an Audi A3, blah, blah, blah. But I'd rather have this car fully built than buy a brand new RS3. So I just want to say a massive thank you to all the support that we've had on the recent videos. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. We've got new videos coming out every Sunday, 6 PM. So until next week, it's goodbye from me, and thank you very much for watching.